full pregnant moon in Aquarius. So this is our second full moon. So this means that things gonna get intensified, feel me? Especially knowing that what's going on, personally speaking. These are areas of your life where you're gonna basically feel the need to basically be unique, rebellious, fulfilled, have strength, and of course become a new star, become a new person. See now, looking at this perspective, when you have a full moon in Aquarius, means you have to act a little balance in between. Feel me? You gotta act a little bit spontaneous, a little bit. Feel me? Try to not put yourself into a position of being too, sociable, too out there and shit. Feel me? Focus more on you. Put yourself first. Be a little bit more selfish. Try not to focus too much on what's going on in the world. Feel me? Because if you're not right with yourself, then you're not gonna be right outside of the world. And of course, if you're not pretty much catering to basically building yourself up, it's going to put you into a position of being unfulfilled in certain iniquities. And remember, with this positioning, the time that you put in from the beginning of the new moon in Leo, all the way from the moon being into Aquarius, all those ideas, all those feelings, all those emotions, all those energetic portals and fields that basically you was basically incorporating, businessing, and of course placing matters towards, these are what you're basically going to get back. So the energy you put in is the energy you're going to get back. And remember, throughout the day, how much time you put in energy towards something is how much you're going to get back. Sometimes people put their energy towards dumb things that don't really truly matter in life, and this pretty much shut them back. And you don't want to basically put yourself into a position of being set back, for me? Because once you're back against the wall, you're going to have no choice but basically have a seat, sit back, and basically figure out how you're going to get yourself out of this space. You never want to be into the same space over and over again. A spirit hater routine, a spirit hater pattern. So, whatever you're not comfortable with, you need to basically get comfortable towards too. And of course, this full moon going to be on Sunday. So you got a couple more days to make the best of it before that full moon come for me. Because when the full moon get here, everything that you was basically trying to create and manifest, when that full moon get here, you're supposed to sit down, relax, for me, clear your mind, clear out all the shit that don't belong in your space, clean up your room, keep your space fulfilled, make sure you're relaxing, for me, try not to put yourself out there or be too open to the public and shit like that, for me. Learn how to just take an ice challenge or some shit, for me. Drink an ice cold coffee, for me. Eat something light. Just chill out that day, for me. Try to do things in moderation. Try not to put yourself over the limits or going to the extremes and things that matter, for me. Because all that time and energy that you basically put in, this is what you're going to get back, for me. Look at it like this. You got to put air into a balloon. And you want that balloon to basically be up there, not being in your hand and shit. So if you put a whole lot of air into that balloon, it's going to get fat, it's going to get big, and of course it's going to fulfill, and it's going to fly in the sky. And of course, look at you as the balloon. All that air you put into it, all those ideas and shit, basically it became the fire, which was the vision. It had a sight, it had a vision. The water was basically how you was feeling emotionally with it, feel me? Ever heard the spectrum? Wrong hole, fool. In that movie and Don't Be the Menace, feel me? That means his ideas was there, but the way he was feeling, to have an intensified passion, to basically direct that, he was not in the right hole. So she had to remind him. So if you don't bring these two together, you won't be able to actually create air with it. And it won't be earth, which is it'd be able to fly, which is a physical balloon spectrum. Of course, 10 times out of 10, everything has a transformation date, which means that this is not the last moon that you're going to experience. From we got about what? We're going to have the new moon coming into Virgo. It's going to be a new moon in Libra. It's going to be a new moon in Scorpio. It's going to be a new moon in Sagittarius. It's going to be a new moon in Capricorn. Feel me? The last moon will be in Pisces. Feel me? That last stage should make you dream. But 10 times out of 10, once this new moon in Virgo comes, this pretty much is going to be it as far as how you want to accumulate and bring things in your life and have it rotate, feel me? This is the part of you basically building your own garden and Eve, feel me? And remember, after that came Libra, which is Adam and Eve. They was relating. Then after that, they got into the Scorpio, which is their desires, feel me? They started getting into lustful and shit. Then of course after that, they experienced that they was naked and shit like that. Then after experience they was naked, what came? Saturn came. And Saturn said, yo, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, yo, what the fuck is y'all doing? Then after that was reciprocated, they became free because they was imagining things and they was aware of shit. And of course, this shit became a dream. And then of course, that dream, that fish, that spiral got transformed into another domain. Of course, that's how that's how things have started to come. But this is pretty much what we was all doing. It's not about just Adam and Eve. Adam was just an idea. Eve was just a feeling and emotion. And of course, the tree was just basically a physical representation of what we do in our surroundings. But that's how it pretty much play out. But we about to get into these energies as far as how you're going to basically be experiencing these full moons. Remember, this full moon is going to be on Sunday. So Sunday is the day you're supposed to go all out. That's the day you're not going to really pretty much be going all out. That's the day you're going to basically sit back, retract, and of course, eat some of those fruits that you basically was planting. Feel me? Those shits that you was planting, them plantains, them plantanos that you was planting, is basically going to be ripe or unripe. Feel me? So you're going to be feeling ripe, which is fulfilled, or unripe, which means that the seeds you planted does not get ripe. Feel me? So be aware of this. Now, if you have Aquarius in the first house, you're basically going to be fulfilled when it comes to your personality, your personal traits, and of course your personal endeavors with people, places, and things in a unique manner. Or you're going to be feeling unfulfilled when it comes to having no personal relationships, no personal status, no personal affairs going on in your life. See, you might put yourself into a position of catering to too many things. You might be a hothead, you feel me? Everything may be a battlefield for you, whether it's good or bad. But of course, if you feel unfulfilled in this area, then that means you didn't plant the right seeds. And of course, your fruits are not ripe. So you basically things going to be unripe in this position. Of course, what you need to do is find balance. Sit back and chill, feel me? Every day don't need a thinking perspective, feel me? Sometimes you just got to reflect on your personality and bring balance with your personal self, and you'll be all right. Also, for Aries, you're going to have opportunities to jump the gun. Aries moon, you're going to be reacting, responding to others that jump the gun. Or this can pretty much play out into good or bad. Now, if you have the second house in Aquarius, this is pretty much valuing your status in a fulfilled manner, the things that you're valuing, and of course, the experiences that you're going to basically pick up from this perspective. See, try not to put yourself into a position of being too fixed when it comes to go overindulge into your values and shit. You may go to the extreme, you may overindulge, you may give too much, and of course, you may want to expect something in return. You may put yourself into a position of having a full moon scenario because you may just went all out for everybody and shit, and you realize that after a while, these people is just basically using you. And you're gonna be a toy. Don't be a toy out here, feel me? Try to find balance. You'll be alright. Yeah, you're gonna be going through some learning stages with your personality traits. Also, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, you're gonna be learning how to find your own manners when it comes to uniqueness and doing things and switching up a catering stabilization going on with yourself. Also, if you have Aquarius in the third house, this is being surrounded in a fulfilled environment when it comes to your status, your relationships, your connections, your commitments with others. See, this is going to be a circumstance situation that you might put yourself into a position of being charitable, going out there, being all open, and of course, helping other individuals. Try to watch out for your ego, and you'll be out in this perspective, feel me? Try to, you're going to be dealing with opposite energies, though, feel me? You're going to be dealing with some opposite energies. Also, if you have Aquarius in the fourth house, you're going to be feeling fulfilled when it comes to your privacies, your home, your family, and of course, your roots. See, this is going to be a circumstance situation where you may be bragging, you may put up a fight when it comes to your privacy, your family, or people, places, and things that you're close to. You may become very arrogant, maybe gossiping about things, or others may be coming over gossiping about you, or you may basically be put into the wrong perspective. Try to get more serious on your status, your career, and of course, try to reflect back on focusing on more on what you basically cater to, and you'll be all right. Cancers, you're going to be dealing with misunderstandings. Also, if you got this Aquarius in the fifth house, oh shit, I'm bugging. Fourth house, you're going to be feeling righteous when it comes to helpfulness, and of course, you're going to be dealing with some obstacles with others. Fifth house, you're going to be basically being in a position of fulfilling your creativities and bragging about these things. in a good matter or a bad matter. Try not to do too much of that. Leos, you're going to be dealing with some full moon opposite experiences. Also, if you have Aquarius in the 6th house, you're going to be feeling fulfilled when it comes to paying attention to what you do on a day-to-day basis or and experiencing. See, experiences and aging will help you into this position, because you may basically put yourself into a position where you may just fuck around and pour a cup for somebody. They don't drink the cup, and now you're basically looking at these individuals like they're not cool. And of course, you may just ghost them just for certain reasons like that. So try not to do that. Feel me? Virgos, you're going to be dealing with misunderstandings. You're going to be very open to experiences. Yeah, you're going to be basically dealing with some aliens. Also, if you have Aquarius in the 7th house, you're going to be feeling fulfilled when it comes to your partnerships, your relationships, and your people, places, and things that you commit to. Try not to put yourself into a position of being all over the place or trying to find too much equilibrium and balance. For me, because you can die trying to relate to too many people, relate to too many things, and trying to like basically find a bondage with somebody. For me, not everybody out here have their good intentions, so you got to be very careful. For me, you may be going to the extremes in these matters when it comes to relationship or relating with somebody. For me, try to relate more with yourself. For me, and be a little bit selfish that day. For me. Try not to put yourself out there and shit. Just relax. Cool. You'll be all right. Also, Libras, you're going to have the gift to communicate, intellectualize with others when it comes to a full moon spectrum. You're going to be all right. Also, if you have Aquarius in the 8th house, feel me? This is pretty much dealing with, you're going to feel fulfilled when it comes to your deep desires, your deep motivations, your status, your uniqueness, and of course, how you communicate and interact with these things. See, in this perspective, if you have a good image, a good desire, and bring fruit within inside yourself, you won't have any issues of feeling down or feeling like you're cold-hearted or dealing with obstacles, whether it comes from family or close ones. You'll put yourself into a position of being fulfilled and not allowing things to basically get into your spectrum. Also, Scorpios, you're going to be dealing with some conflict, some upheaval, changes, and shit like that. Watch out for that. If you have Aquarius in the 9th house, you're going to basically be feeling fulfilled in your experiences, your associations, your commitments, and your relationships. Try not to put yourself into a position of being too much out there or trying to help other individuals and shit like that. Everybody may not need your help. I mean, you may be preachy, gossiping, and doing all that shit. But also, try not to be basically stealing people's shit, because it's going to put you into a position of needing people for certain things. And if you don't rely too much on yourself, then you're going to put yourself in a position of try to be more curious and have your own concepts. So you'll be at Sagittarius, you're going to have opportunity to basically take charge when it comes to experiences. Also, if you got Aquarius in the 10th house, you're going to feel fulfilled in your career, your status, your goals, and your ambitions. Of course, you could put yourself into a position of being very reckless, having no balance, having no moderation, and this can fuck you up. Feel me? Try to like cater, try to be more loving, try to be more nurturing, especially towards other individuals, especially with your career, and you'll be right. This is where you won't have a full moon scenario in this perspective. You have Aquarius in the 11th house. You're gonna be feeling fulfilled or unfulfilled when it comes to your acquaintances, your relationships, your groups, your public, and of course how you're known out there in the public, in the unknown. See, this is going to be a circumstance situation where you need to be careful and organized, because if you can pretty much do this, and if you'll be all right. Now, if you're not careful or organized, you may jump the gun, you may take a risk, you may do things without even thinking, and of course, this can pretty much fuck up your experiences in the public or with other individuals. So try to find balance, equilibrium, and you'll be all right. For me, if you go to the extremes and try to be doing things, you can have ups and downs. People are going to be there to lift you. But remember, everybody may not be there to lift you. So, for me, you may just want to be for somebody, then fuck around and may experience some shit on the full moon. So try not to do that. Well, last but not least, if you have Aquarius in the 12th house, you're going to be feeling fulfilled when it comes to your dreams, your illusions, your spirituality, and of course, your companionship. You may put yourself into a position of trying to build bondages with people, places, and things, individuals, or catering to help them and shit, bringing safety and security. You may be basically trying to nurture people or be a parent to them and shit. That may not even be necessary, feel me? Sometimes people may be not even needing these things. Sometimes you just gotta basically see people for who they truly are. Try not to basically judge a book by its cover when it comes to your dreams and how you relate these things. Feel me? Try to be more down to earth and practical, and try not to get too much of your fantasies, because you may be basically taking things way too serious, and it may not even be that catering. Feel me? If you just basically be more down to earth, more logical and practical, and get out your fantasies just a little bit, you'll be alright. Feel me? Just try not to overindulge in too many dreams and desires and illusions and fantasies and spirituality, and you'll be alright in this perspective. The Pisces Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, you're gonna be very open-minded and seeing the other side of making adjustments when it comes to your full moon perspectives. And of course, that's going to be the full moon, how these energies going to play out before your goals manifest. Of course, start getting ready and prepared for the next one. That's all. That's it.